Hi, I'm Steve with Komprise, and today I'm going to show you how to tier data to Microsoft Azure. So if you've seen a Komprise demo before, you've probably seen our data donut, where we show you how we analyze your data, show you how much is cold, and then create a plan to move that data with transparent access to a lower cost object store like Microsoft Azure. So let's go ahead and jump into my lab. What I've done is create a container in Microsoft Azure called Komprise Lab, and now we're going to go ahead and set that up for use. So within Komprise, I'm going to Shares, Targets, and I've created a target here called Azure Komprise Lab for that container. Let's go ahead and take a look at the properties. Click Edit. You can see that I provided my storage account name, Komprise Steve P Lab, and I've gone ahead and provided my Microsoft access key. I'm set the transfer access tier to cool, and I'm setting a display name for it. If we click Advanced, we can see that the data format we've chosen is native. So this means that we're going to be able to access our objects or our blobs in Microsoft Azure in the native format. So we can also use all of the powerful AI and ML tools that Azure makes available against our data in the cloud while maintaining our local access on-prem. We're also choosing to encrypt our data using that cloud vendor key. Go ahead and close that out. Now let's pick our source. This will be the data that we're going to tier. So for this demo, I'm going to use my Windows 2016 server, and I'm going to tier from my home share. I've got some data in there. So let's go ahead and set a plan up to move that data over. So clicking Plan, we'll go ahead and create a group here. I called it Tier to Azure, and I'm going to add the shares. So in this case, again, I'm going to go to Windows 2016. I'll pick that home share, say OK, and it'll give me a picture of how much hot and cold data I have. So I want to tier that cold data. So I'm going to go ahead and say move any files that haven't been accessed, in this case for, let's say, 3 months. And it immediately shows me what's going to happen. You can see that these files are going to be moved. And it's also going to show me how much money I would save, right? And again, this is information that you provide. So you can see, how much does my on-prem storage cost versus how much my storage costs in the cloud. So let's pick that target, Microsoft Azure, Komprise Lab. And at this point, we can go ahead and activate our share. So we'll click Done Editing. And we'll say Activate or Test, and we'll say Continue. So at this point, Komprise is going to go ahead, crawl through that share, and start moving those objects to the cloud and leaving behind symlinks so we can maintain our access. So let's give this some time to cook. So a little bit of time has gone by, and Komprise has started to move some files off to Microsoft Azure. So if I look at my home share, nothing appears to have changed. If I take a closer look, I can see that some of my data has now been replaced with symlinks. These are standard symlinks that are part of operating systems like Microsoft Windows, Linux, or Mac. And if I click them, I get my data just like I would before. So for the users and for the applications, even though this data is now stored in the cloud, it means that nothing has changed for them. How does this work? Again, we're using those standard symlinks. If I right-click this symlink and take a look at the property, you can see that it's pointing to what we call a Komprise access address. This is a shared IP that's hosted by our observers or our data movers that's acting as a bridge to Microsoft Azure and providing the access to that data. So we can access our data on-prem just like we always have. What does it look like from the cloud? I'm going to pop over to Microsoft Azure, and you can see here's that same JPEG that I downloaded before here in native access. This means that I can access my data in the cloud, run analytics against it, and get value from my data. So thank you for watching today. We'll be covering more topics in future videos. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you so much.